That's too much HUD. As here we go, everyone. GreenHD versus Farid Rommel. Chat, get your predictions in. As we are on the beautiful map of... Wait, what? He said Maverick. He said Maverick. But it's not Maverick. It's balanced. Oh no, Green. And Farid deceived me. Misinformation. As we're here for GreenHD versus Farid Rommel. With 26 cards versus 78 after the bands you see on screen. 30th Panzer, Task Force 45, 3rd Armored Division, the US one, 5th Cavalry Motorizata, 2nd Guards Tank Corps, 4th Fallschirmjäger, 17th SS, 2nd Infantry, 97th and TFL. Like Farid Rommel's bands all really standard. The 3rd US is interesting. The US is relatively powerful again, but still not considered a really strong division. And 2nd Guards Tank Corps is also a one where I'm curious what Green thought when he banned that. Those are not the most standard ones, but maybe something that Green saw Farid play lately. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, let's see how that goes. As the match is coming up now. Oh, no, we are all wrong. It's not balanced after all. Green just messed up his deck. Green just messed up his deck. I think it was Rommel who was player 1, but I might be wrong. I think Rommel might be player 1. Okay, here we go again, everyone. Here we go again. Yeah. Hello, everyone, to the beautiful, beautiful live cast of Farid Rommel versus GreenHD, who will meet each other on Sidlitzo. And the bands are interesting, relatively standard, but not fully standard. As GreenHD, as you can see, banned 20th Panzer, which is a fine ban on this map. Task Force 45, absolute fine ban on any map. 3rd Armored Division, interesting ban on this map. Tank divisions can be strong here, but it doesn't have the infantry really to support, in my eyes, on Silitz. But I would like to know what Green made, why Green made this decision. Then 5th Cavalry, 2nd Guard Tank Corps, Farid Rommel banning 4th Fallschirmjäger, 17th SS, 2nd Infantry, 97th Guards, and DFL. All of these really standard bans here. All of these can be super scary with their combined arms. So, yep, in the end, also both with strong divisions. 78th Sturm for GreenHD, 26 Guards Strelkovi for Farid Rommel, and both playing Maverick. So that should be interesting. But before we jump in, once more, a lovely shout out to, first of all, our new website, playsdl.com, where you can find all information about ongoing tournaments. Upcoming tournaments will be shown here with sign up. Down here, you can find more information about ongoing stuff in the league. For example, the current schedule for this week's streams. And then, yeah, Farid Rommel and Green are in an interesting group with Homer and Yu. A really strong group, so every win here is really, really important. Every map you can get yourself is absolutely key. And as you can see, this group here is an interesting one as well. Whilst you also can support these guys' efforts by contributing to the Matcherino prize pool without having to pay anything yourself. Go to Matcherino, the Matcherino link in the chat or down below on YouTube, and click the claim code button up here. We add 25 cents to the prize pool for free. There's still 35 codes remaining, so come on guys, let's put that to 0. And by click visit link over here, for example, you can also add some more free money to to the prize pool by visiting some websites. And if you want to help out even more, you can obviously just contribute money directly via the contribute button up here, that then in the end will be paid out to some of the top players that played really well this season. Big shout out to Witch Doctor for already putting in 20 bucks. Big thanks there. And yeah, let's go on to the next one. Nope, Fantasy League sign-ups have been closed, my man. Yeah. Well, it's on the left side, GreenHD is coming in. On the right side, Farid Rommel with a lot of forces as well. Let's get rid of the picks and bans. And let's have a look on how this goes. Bewährungs coming in. Sturmschützen coming in. Panzervernichtungs. Two really good divisions. I wonder which one is the better. I can't quite pinpoint. I would still put 26 higher. And as you can see, Farid is trying to go aggressive a bit, most likely. Really aggressive setup here with a good amount of jeeps coming in. Classic Foxes strategy. Of all the Foxes usually play a rather aggressive playstyle. Well, it's green here on the left side. With the really annoying green name as well. That is super hard to read. Thanks for that, green. Is using Sturmschützen in the north, pack 40 here, to try to win the fight in this forest area. One of the key points of this map, this forest. If you can win there, you can make the reinforcement roads of the enemy highly annoying to use and put them under a lot of pressure. And then in the center, we see a couple of flamethrowers. I wonder where they will go, if they will be spread out or if they will try to rush through the town here. Some Glide Grenadiers coming in as well. So that seems to be like a massive attack somewhere as well. I wonder where though. Like, if you put infantry here, you might be able to win the flag, but you usually can't push further. So that's a lot of investment for only gaining one flag. So another thought might be trying to push in here and then trying to cut this off. Because like if you try to move on from here, you have to cross a lot of open terrain where the enemy can assault you. Whilst further down below, Pak 40, MG42s and Aufklärers are sitting around. Glide Grenadier, Panzervernichtungs and MG42 will come in for the southern section of the map as well. On the other side, we have a good amount of forces as well. Sniperi, M42s, Maxims, more units here, trying to move forward. So, yeah. Let's freaking go. Sturmoviki over everywhere. So, Maxims. We'll move in here. Let's see how far the other side can come. And yeah. Let's go. What? I don't... What, Reef? What? This seems to be a heavy infantry start on both sides. So far, nothing but infantry deployed. Which is not the most common thing. Like, this is a map where you usually see some armor. Okay, we will get some T-34s. Well, the armor you get as 78th, not super well suited. There are a couple of good NAS1 spots on this map. Stuck's always helpful, but as I stated before the game started, you don't have any 28mm autocannons, and 20mm autocannons can be amazing for these sections here, or for this section up in the north. You don't have any really great CQC for deep forest fights, but the other side has Sturmoviki rocks, so you have to be careful of any deep forest as well. But you have relatively good units for these mid-ranges with your Sturmschützen and so on. And your tanks can hold the long ranges in the center. So the center is kind of where you want to win. But I feel like you want something else but just infantry for that. Like, either put an Nason up here or put an IG-33 up here to help you with some fire support. Infantry alone, let's see how that goes. Other side, more Saperi. PSH is coming in, so yeah, wants to go everywhere fast here. Farid Rommel. That can be interesting. Let's see if it actually works out. MG42 coming in, Begleit Grenadiers. Yeah, solid amount of MG42s. Solid amount of Begleit Grenadiers. One Pak 40 and two Pak 40s and two Panzervernichtungs is all the anti-tank on the left side. Yes, there's also only one tank though, so that might actually be a good choice here. Also interesting to see a Kubel MG, not a unit we see super often for its 5 points. It is an unarmored truck and it only has 750 meter range, so it gets killed off by enemy infantry quite commonly. Yeah, has a recon inside, but I'm not an absolute amazing fan of this thing. The very good high optics help out though. So like if you turn the weapon off, you actually can somewhat use it as a recon unit with its good stealth for these light forests. That's maybe the idea here of green, getting it up here or so, spotting for green's formation. Whilst another T-34 has come in on the other side. Both sides seem to get pretty close to ready here now. And that is it. Let's freaking go. GreenHD versus Farid Rommel. Battle is on. Flammenwerfers, a couple of them go in here. But the rest really wants to dash forward into this forest. Okay, that seems to be the planned axis of advance for GreenHD. But on the other side, good amount of units go into this forest as well, but I'm not too sure they are really that powerful of a unit. ARM-38s and a couple of channels. Yeah, they really ain't that strong. Maxims and M42s coming in for the south together with a sniper. But the northern tower forest fight will be really interesting. ARM-38 also pretty good in this matchup. Could allow for some breakthrough here with their smoke and their HE shells pinning down enemy infantry, as there's only 2 infantry units here for GreenHD, so if Farid Rommel pushes good enough here in the north, that should be an easy victory. Flammenwerfer singing around T-34E, hitting over here against the Flammenwerfer as well, whilst the MG42s are under fire by the sniper. Sniper trying their best to do some damage. Pak 40 in the rear, trying to open up as well. Just over here, so Perry PPSHs are slowly moving forward as the Flammenwerfers have been pinned down. Guided DPs coming in as well, but there's just a good amount of infantry here from green. Sniper trying to get their kills, but the Pak 40 is helping out on the other side relatively efficiently as well. South though, the MG42 will go down. Begleit Grenadier not quite around to do any extra damage from the other side. And in the north, Farid Rommel is on the move forward. What can Green's 2 infantry units here, plus the leader, do to stop them? As there is an ARM-38, there is a T-34, though that one most likely blocked by the Pak 40 to get anywhere. And there is a Guardia DP and 2 Sturmovicis. So, good hits here might do a hell of a lot to allow these Sturmoviki rocks to get into CQC over there. Mortar so far not hitting too well, slightly off target. But down in the south, the infantry of green is actually pushing. So the move is somewhat working out. L237 coming in, which is an interesting unit to buy, but actually it might be just coming in. Okay, no, it's not using its gun. As usually, you bring it in for its 37mm guns and not for its bombs. As you can see, yeah, the bombs are not the most amazing. The Pak 40 actually doesn't take any damage there, but it might be able to still kill the Stuk here. So Farid Rommel has to be careful. Moves this Stuk off-road. No, green has to be careful. It's that way around. As Farid Rommel's L237 tried to get in for a bombing run. Farid Rommel at the moment up to 13-11, but that's nothing major in a Maverick versus Maverick game. Got Sturmschützen though, are in a bit more of a pickle, as they are trying to fight on the Sturmoviki rocks, but they were able to cross the light forest, and now with the double flamers, they can be really, really scary here to the Sturmschützen. Sturmschützen not dealing bad damage either though, so the Sturmoviki Komradi has to be careful, gets killed off. Snipers have to consider better. And disengage there. Whilst some more infantry is pushing forward over here. 12-12 re-established. As all flags are back in the hands of their original owner. But that still doesn't mean that there is nothing happening on the front line here. As down in the south, ARM-38s are trying to help out, killing off some MG-42s. And the reinforcements coming in are significant as well, as we see the first ISU-152 down here. On the other side, a Flak 43, really good AA, really good mid-level AA that can hold off enemy planes pretty efficiently, as it has a really solid rate of fire for such a big gun. And the ISU has to be careful with the Pak 40 and the Stuk 3 around that it doesn't get too close to them. Even more careful, the Panzervernichtungs, but to those you usually shouldn't get too close, as you can keep your distance there usually. Whilst snipers and Guardias try to hold the north, but Sturmschützen actually getting the better out of the enemy Sturmovikis there. More Sturmschützen moving forward. The 34 getting some hits in there. Okay. Schützen, Panzervernichtungs, and Sturmschützen is a good combo. Can deal with basically everything on the battlefield. Whilst the Guardia sniper combo over here is trying to take out a Pak 40. Tries its best there to get the kill. M42 going down. Over here, IL-237 is coming in again. Trying to get a bombing run released onto the enemy down here in the south. But Clyde Grenadiers on the fire. ISU-152 moving forward. That's the Clyde Grenadiers are holding the line. MG42 trying to hold the line as well. Channel being pinned down. 82mm mortar. Firing onto the MG42. MG42 not doing anything to disengage here. But yeah, IL-237 not dealing a lot of damage. And it took a good amount of damage from the Flak 43 here. And that's why you only use them for killing tanks. These are not... Their bombs are nice on top, but you buy them for their availability and for their guns, not for their bombing prowess. As Green is up to a 13-11. Green's bombs here might do more damage. Get a Maxim, but not an amazing bombing run either. One Maxim is not the end of the world here for Farid Rommel, that's for sure. That's down on itself. The ISU T-34 combo is scary, but so is the Pak 40 over here. And this Stuk can be quite nice as well. The Clyde Grenadiers trying to move forward. Channels a bit outclassed there. Especially out in the open. Not the fight you want without any MGs on your own end. Whilst the IL-237 in the north is still flying around as well. Yeah, not many tanks around for them. Surprised we see 2 of them so early. Not a unit I would expect too much of in this kind of game versus this kind of division, as there's a lot of Stuks and so on the side of Green, but they are more defensive. They usually are behind enemy air cover and they don't reveal themselves so easily. And then there's Nashorns, like Stuk and Nashorns it is. That's not a unit that you easily can hit with anti-tank planes usually. Usually those are units that are a bit further behind, so they're pretty close to the AA, so an IL-237 usually can get overwhelmed. Whilst up here in the north, IL-237 is trying to go for a bombing run onto the MG42. Can it get a kill? No. That is interesting. T-34E hitting the Bavarians up here. Push continues. Pioneers and McLeod Grenadiers trying to get into position. IG-33 arrives here as well. 2 more Stooks. So Green is already planning for a counterattack here. And that might actually work out. Maxims and Chanos coming in here. But little anti-tank. If this T-34 can fall, these Stooks could press an attack. Stooks, not the most aggressive unit, but there's not that many AT units here, also not that many high-class infantry units in general. Sturmschützen should be able to overwhelm these units if they would push for it. Sturmschützenführer. Sturmschützen himself went down. But yeah, more anti-tank and stuff is needed. AA now finally coming up there as well to protect it from more IL-237 runs. In the south, position still looking rather good for Farid Rommel with 2 T-34s and an ISU, so breaking that won't be easy. And Green maybe overstepping the welcome here a bit with the Light Grenadier and the Panzervernichtungs getting stuck by enemy units. MG42 trying to get the kill there, but all the other units die before they can achieve too much. And down in the south, we have 2 units looking off, but this is nice for Farid Rommel, having a bit of an entrance to the town that you can then bridgehead out into this flag. So the south not looking bad for Farid Rommel. The north, Green could maybe push. T-34 here is annoying, doesn't find a kill there. And Green seems to be a bit slow, allowing Farid Rommel to get more reinforcements in here. And in the center, we have a big stalemate. Lots more infantry coming in for Green as well, but I feel like Green is not quite able to, not quite aggressive enough here maybe. Try to find the breakthrough. Schützen versus Chanos. They actually can take that fight maybe as well. Well, the Light Grenadiers can do it better, so them coming around would be nice. Yeah, they're moving south as the ARM-38 tries to perfectly hit them. Not quite able to do so though. The Light Grenadiers keep on moving. Whilst down here, a T-34 tries to push forward, as the ISU is still in the rear. Stoke 3G might be able to get the kill there. T-34E gets revealed, gets first penetration in, and now that T-34 is in trouble. T-34 needs to go down, as the Stoke gets the kill there. Didn't disengage, so up in the north, the IG-33 with its long range is pretty helpful if it hits, and it should be able to kill the Maxim over here. Yeah, it did. So, Maverick versus Maverick. Both sides in a lot of income in B phase now, so the weaknesses can be ironed out, but you can't get much more in C phase, so you have to buy now what you want on the battlefield. And it seems like Farid Rommel, unlike Gers, actually likes artillery. So Andriusha has entered the battlefield up in the north. Let's see what that can do. Like, good Andriusha hit can always change the balance of a game. And there's, I guess, a good target around here. Killing off the IG-33 and the Puck would be nice. The Stooks are maneuvering too much to predictably get a good shot on them. Battery Führer tried to move in here to give radio and assist as a leader, whilst the Light Grenadiers and the MG42 are sitting on the outside, just waiting for the units of the enemy to break this. At the same time though, we have a 15-9, okay, now 14-10, as Farid tried to grab some towns in the center as well. And with the T-34 also get some nice kills here. Light Grenadiers under fire. Bavarian on the hill, looking rather rough as well. And yeah, for now, slow push here by Farid Rommel. But with the T-34E down, it's not that easy. The other side, yeah, Green had to be careful there. Nearly got shot by an ISU. Another IG-33 coming up. So green setting maybe up for the really long game here, which might be interesting as a lot of slow late game material comes in. 14-10 at the moment for Farid Rommel. Obviously both sides can be can hold keep up with each other when it comes to endpoint. No one has to be super much the aggressor if they don't like it, but you at some point in the 50 minutes have to get the tick on and get better than your opponent did. So yeah, I wonder if green can keep the pressure up here now in the north. Battery Führer helping out. As the Stuck 3G is rolling forward. That is you on the other side. In the forest. Pioneer moving in here as well. Schützen and Begleitkommandier coming in. The infantry here, quality level wise, is just a good bit better with Farid finally having a Sturmoviki. Rocks for the forest again, that's important. That will be helpful. Andreyusha can do a lot of havoc. Not firing just yet. As Farid still up on the 13-11. And we'll see if green stays more defensive or if green now will go for an all-out assault in the north. As it seems like Farid's still investing more into the south. But there is an off-map. We haven't seen it firing any shots yet. That off-map, I don't know if it has any good spots yet. But that obviously can be absolutely crucial. 210mm is quite deadly. You only have 2 shots of them, but they are quite nice. Whilst up in the north, IL-2 coming with a bombing run again. This time a BF-109 tries to hunt them down. ZSU gets to fire on it, and Flak 43 comes a bit late to the party. Bit of a bad position here for the Flak 43 for GreenHD. Whilst Farid is pushing on here, 14-10. And in the south, bombing run getting a lot of explosions, but not a lot of hits. But at the same time, Flak 43 and Pak 43 are around and under heavy fire. Off map for green, coming in onto this position. South is still relatively well defended with the Bavarians. Whilst the ISU continues to try to lob things from a long distance currently. As so often on this map, you'll have the elevation issue coming up once more. Well, Stefniki over here are going down. MG42 on the fire. Another off map coming in the north. This time though from Farid Rommel. Farid Rommel having a 122mm of their own. So both sides shooting big guns there. And the 122 has 3 charges, whilst the other one only has 2, so yeah, it deals a bit less damage. It is a bit more expensive, but 3 charges is feeling pretty nice throughout the game. But in the north, this Duk 3G is trying to get the kill onto some Shovnikis that are trying to disengage desperately. And down on the south, we have still a stalemate. The push of our normal got completely frozen in. Both sides are on 12-12. And we are getting towards C phase, where because of the low income, every kill will matter even more than they do now. So let's see who will get into this with the advantage in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. For this whole late game scenario, I would say, I think 78 has a better late game with the IG-33, with the Flak 41, with also the lovely what was I about to say? With the lovely Nashorn and so on. So yeah, late game advantage I would give to them, but the ISUs are not dead yet. There is no IS-1 on the battlefield that got killed, I think, either. And so on. So the power level here of Farid Rommel is still pretty good. But Green's late game can be pretty devastating. Farid Rommel now getting kicked down themselves. As Green has him on 13-11. What's down here? Artillery is pretty off target here for Green. Only firing onto some anti-tank gun. And that's not even a super scary anti-tank gun. That is an anti-tank gun you could run over. So a bit of a waste of a perfectly fine off-map. But it's in the north. We see the Maxim pushing. We see the IS-1 pushing. And a good amount of Stropnicki coming in from the rear. 13-11 now for Green once more. But more and more units coming over here to help them out on the front line. More MG42, more SDKFZ 7/1. And we haven't seen a NAS one yet, but there for sure might be more NAS ones to come. Pak 43 coming in as well. Where's this going? Okay, that's a weird pathing, but it's going over here for now. Let's hope it doesn't get sniped in transport. As the SIS 3 at the moment, that would be in a spot to snipe it. Went down actually. I was about to say got pinned down, but it actually instantly went down afterwards. As yeah, 13 MP44s are a good amount of MP44s. That's in the north. Yeah. A couple of MP44s, more than one on these Pioneers and so on would be helpful. Well, these actually have two, but I think the Grenadiers only have. Okay. Artillery could deal more damage to this tank. Wait. Okay, more Flak 43 coming in. Stropnicki in the north being pushed back. And Green, for the first time in the game, up on the 13-11. Breakthrough in the north, that I was hinting at earlier, is occurring. Sturmschützen are through. And I really have to go for a walk after this game. It's dark outside, guys. Winter. And I didn't sleep well last night. My body is like, yeah, doing a resting thing, don't you? Else I'm really not, buddy. Buddy, let's not do that. I mean, I was sitting a bit too long before the stream. But I really want to be awake now. It's a really good game here. As the IS-1 and the KV-85s are rolling forward. Oh boy, Pioneers. Oh boy. Let's have some stress here. Pioneers being pinned down. Both force backs. Stropnicki moving in there now as well. 38 chilling behind. Sturmschützen trying to hold the line. You want to keep the flag. You don't really want to move further into that at the moment. I mean, with the Pak 43 you might be able to get some kills, but the KV-85s obviously are relatively HE protected here as well. Andreyusha is scary. As both sides are now in C-phase. So the income has plummeted for both sides now. They are both only getting 80 points. So the units you have on the battlefield matter a lot. And losing an ISU like that to a Pak 43 like this one, or this one, matters a lot. And a lot of Pak 43s are now rolling forward. The 82mm mortars have a lot to do. Ooh, T-34E goes down. AA is getting set up behind it as well. And Green has a good wall here. Farid is stuck. JU-188 is coming up. Okay, and yeah, my adrenaline level in my body is rising again, guys. I'm coming back to alive as the bombs are falling onto the Sniperi. Sniperi is going down. Stropnicki is getting pinned down. Sturmschützen are moving. Green still behind a bit, but not in a significant amount. Like, that's not an amount that you can't do something about. That's the IS-1 in the north in the fight with Pak 40. Pak 40 fight is fine though. Pak 43 fight wouldn't be. That's the Andreyusha slowly reloading here. Not the quickest reload in the game. It takes him a good while to get all 12 shells back in here. But it eventually will loosen itself onto this position again. which might allow Farid Rommel then to do a counterattack. Farid obviously invested quite a bit again here in the north with the Stravniki from everywhere. CIS-3 coming in as well, KB85 and IS-1 coming in here too. But more and more Guardia DP are rolling forward. BF-109 G6R6 flying around. Sturmschützen and Bewährungs sitting in the south. Chernos being pushed back. T-34E is in here. Couple of Guardia DP are sitting on the other side. Should be able to deal with these Sturmschützen over here. 38 trying to help out. Yes, Farid back to a 1311 with somehow advancing in the center. The ISU here really, really strong. And yeah, the Pak-43s maybe one too many over here. You don't need that much AT over here, and without a Pak-43 in the middle to deal with these ISU, actually Farid's move here is great. Farid's move here in the center is great, 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 great. Obviously, if the ISU falls, this will collapse like a house of cards as well. But as long as these ISU maybe can get protected with another ZSU, this should work out. Another Stuk coming in. But yeah, Nasson or a Pak-43 in here in the center would be quite helpful now for Green to try to deal with that. And whilst Farid is calling in an off-map for the north to try to push in afterwards. Andriusha nearly reloaded again. Whilst the 82mm are trying to pin down a bit of infantry here, but Sturmschützen continuously pushing forward. Infantry fights here so far going pretty well for Green, playing their ranges really solid, and against the Stravniks, the Sturmschützen are fine. Sturmoviki Rocks they have to fear, but the Sturmoviki Rocks were not as efficient in the fights as I thought they might be. They're so far not doing too much. At the meantime though, transport here getting sniped under Queen's watch there. Off map in the north, pretty scary as well. Pioneer falling up there. Can this allow for another push in here? Pioneers and so on are still around, and the off map not pinning down everything there. More Sturmoviki trying to come in. And Ryusha nearly ready to go again. Next off map coming in as well. The Sturmovikis are moving forward. Two good AAs up here, so far it can't go for that. But the center push here is a scary prospect. Really good move with the infantries through here. And yeah, playing the center of Siedlitze is a weird thing. But Farid is doing it correctly, and Green currently not having anything to answer it. I'm myself never gonna pick that map in the tournament because I'm just not that good at it either in the center. But Green under pressure there. Putting still pressure over here though, as the Sturmschützen just keep on moving. But the Stuk is now rolling in as well. So the south of Farid Rommel is close to collapse. KV-85s and T-34 will try to prevent that in the future, but they will take a good while to arrive here. So Farid has to win elsewhere, and the off map in the north is hitting now. Andriusha, I think, has reloaded. Yes, Andriusha has reloaded. The flak feeling falls as well. Andriusha hit on this position here would allow for a lot of aggressiveness as well, or even better on this position, as these units this time around didn't get pinned down. But the KV-85 still has to be careful, as the Pak-43 is still around here. 13-11 for Farid for now. Green's disadvantage by now has grown to a somewhat sizable amount, but nothing that can't be changed in 23 minutes. So Farid has to keep it up for now. Stravnikis getting one of the Sturmschützen, falling afterwards though. Chernos in the south being under attack. Flag over here will fall in a second. That will be the 12-12. Unless Farid can equalize elsewhere. Or the flag's lost up there. Okay, KV goes down. Pak-40 and Pak-43 still really, really scary here. Stravniki could move forward. Doesn't do so right now though. Sturmschützen most likely will lose against 2 Stravniki, I would expect. Even though Stravniki not the most amazing fight, because they miss out on 3 DPs in these kind of fights. So 3 really, really good MGs that they're not using here. Not the most cost-efficient usage of this 35-point units. But Pioneers also are pretty strong against them. Another off-map being called in by Farid. Not really much there to hit. Maybe should have been repositioned somewhere else. And Ryusha, same thing. Maybe could be used better in the south, as the south is collapsing and green is moving on. And yeah, holding this now will be tough. Green really with a good layer of attack, good combined arms, slow pushing with the Pak 43s and Pak 40s as well. I would like to see a rotation of this Pak 43 towards the center though. Like, the Pak 43 coming in here could doom the center for Farid as well, or force Farid to reposition the ISU to the position over here or so that it can cover less of this part of the map, at least. Yeah, instead of keeping 3 anti-tank guns in this area where they are not really achieving too much themselves. 2 of these would be good enough to do the zoning already. And yeah, Farid under pressure, 11-13. Green doing a good job here now. Off-map coming in once more here. If the Flak 43 goes down, the IL-2s that we have seen from Farid Rommel can come back. Can do something against Stravnicki. Moving forward, Andriusha still has its rockets. Could be used. Supply truck used a good amount, but still has some as well. So let's see how that goes. What's another Stomoviki Rocks comes in to try to push deeper over here. 12-12. We are back to a stalemate. Farid Rommel with the advantage. 20 minutes to go. That's Green's units over here are moving forward. Took is stationary right now though. Pak 40 trying to get a shot onto the KV-85. Get a transmission damage. Nice hit. Obviously better hits needed though. To get more done than that. As the KV-85 is under fire here on a medium range. Yes, and the Pak 40 gets the kill. KV-85's kills really important here. Good tanks, really important tanks, can deal with Stooks on the longer ranges. So getting rid of them here with the Pak 40, big thing. Really big deal. So Farid Rommel has to be careful. Can't really hold the south here. There's no more flags to defend here, but you obviously don't want to have your enemy being able to shoot into this part of the reinforcement road, or even get into this part of so here unmolested. So you kind of want to get more units down here to at least hold the line. But the focus of Farid by now should be elsewhere. I don't think a counterattack here is really possible. Farid should be focusing on just holding the flags that are still under his control whilst trying to attack elsewhere. As Green now goes up to a 14-10. Flamethrowers here still doing a good job. T-34 is not moving in there. And then the north, Farid getting pushed out a bit as well once more. Andriusha hasn't fired again. Would be pretty nice for the Pak 43. Could even maybe get a double kill there at the moment. But not happening. Stravnicki maybe could move around and capture this flag over here. But more flags are needed. Like over here, got lost. Another Pak 43 coming in, so the ISU might be in trouble. And GreenHD is doing this really well. Stoke 3G moving around. The Bearings moving up. Channel coming in. More units moving forward. 12-12. As the Stravnicki actually gets the flag. Somehow this flag here is under control as well. Andriusha still not firing. Okay, it's repositioning now. It seems like Farid still wants to win in the south. And I'm really not sure if that's a wise decision. The AA of Green is far in the rear. Hopefully Green realizing that now. That Flak 43 should be at least move up here. Maybe even move up here. As it's currently not covering the front line at all. Like, bombers could come in easily for Farid. Whilst we are on a 12-12. 17 minutes remaining. Farid Rommel even getting to 13-11 here thanks to some amazingly odd front lines in the north. The Schützen should be able to collapse that in a second, and then it will be a 13-11. Or GreenHD here, most likely, in a couple of seconds. For now, Farid somehow got another 15 seconds or so of tick there. And now gets a bit more of a 12-12 until the Pioneers are able to collapse this and get there. The other thing that this Stravnicki can do is use their PTRD to annoy enemy transports. So a nice unit to move forward there. Stomoviki Rocks getting hit hard there by MG42s and  Flamethrower over here put their smoke up. Double flamethrower of the Stormoviki Rocks though did a good amount of damage. They tried to move forward. As double flamer hit the enemy Flammenwerfer. And the SMG do the rest. So let's see if they can get up to the MG42 as well. As there is reinforcement needed here as well for GreenHD. Pack 43 is nice though. Ooh, has line of sight on the T-34. T-34 is now trying to move. It gets out of there. But the ISU 152 went down. Stuk is around here as well. So Green now can really go for the counter-offensive. And there's a lot of flags here that have a little presence from Farid Rommel as well. Also the Pack 43 is aiming up here. And Farid Rommel surrenders here in the end. GreenHD with the better KD. Really, really good game here. Well played with 78. Solid setup. Solid execution. Slow push. Getting Farid off the map. And Farid a bit too much investment in my eyes to the IL-237s that didn't do anything there. And if those would have gone into some better forest fights, I feel like, and then maybe reinforcing with good anti-tank guns there, or good support equipment, that could have been better. But Green using the strengths of 78 really well, getting a good amount of good infantry fights, and then slow pushing with that long range equipment. And on ranges, on line of sights, where Farid also couldn't do much about it. So really well played here by our own GreenHD here in game 1. Looking forward to game 2. As yeah, I'm standing already, Mr. Lizek, and I will stand further. We're gonna go into a short break, and then we're gonna be back with game number 2. So here we go. Game number 2 is Warshore North this time. And the bands are pretty standard ones, everyone. We have 4th Ultramaker, 17th SS, DFL, 78 Storm, 1st Pichotti. Coming up against 2nd ID, 97th, 3rd US, Task Force 45, and 5th Cavalry as bands. So this time all around standard bands outside of 3rd US. Green doesn't seem to like 3rd US at all. Just like in game number 1, that band is in there. The picks we have are 2 standard German infantry divisions. As we have on the one side, as we have on the left side here with Green, the 5th Gebirgsjäger, a division that we haven't seen too much lately, and something is wrong with my controls, so excuse me for a second. We'll have to tap out here and see if it's correct now again. Yes, it is. Okay. Somehow the W and S were zooming in and out instead of moving the camera around. That was awkward. But yeah, Green on the left side, bringing in the beautiful, beautiful 5th Gebirgsjäger out of the Italian DLC, whilst Farid Rommel, different Fox, is bringing in Harteneck, a division that has received a lot of buffs lately. Like, one direct buff with the Reiterjäger MG44 now having Molotovs, which makes them from a pretty bad unit to a pretty decent unit. As the Molotov helps them out really getting solid traits in CQC. Their Tigers got buffed in availability and reduced price. We can take them with better veterancy mostly, which is important, and they are a slight bit cheaper. Flak feeling, most important buffs, especially for them, as also came with an availability buff to their flak feeling on STKFZ. So they now have a bit of AA coverage, not great, but they have it. So yeah, a lot of solid buffs there for that division. And that made them from relatively low tier, especially due to being air spammable. Like basically every game being air spammed with useless flak feelings and only having some 20mm and mediocre fighters to deal with the enemy, to now being a pretty solid division with a lot of tools. Not the most numbers on any of those tools, but a lot of tools with Hungarian infantry, Tigers, Stuks, T-34, 20mm Panzer IIs, and a tab that can keep you alive throughout the first part of the game. Like, at some point, usually your flak feelings will somehow get killed if the enemy really wants to go for it, but at least your flak feelings can keep the enemy from will go for air spam. Green's division has solid infantry with the Gebirgsjägers, and Gebirgs Pioneers with jerrycans are pretty nice as well. The Stuk M42 is a nice light tank killer and a pretty solid HE tank as well if you can resupply it. As it has 1750 meter range on a 40-point tank, which is really, really cool. Like, it's the cheapest 1750 meter range tank that in the game when it comes to the tank tab. I guess even when it comes to the anti-tank tab. The Marder one doesn't have, with the CIS 3, no, the Marder 3 that is, doesn't have 1000. So, yeah, it's a really, really nice tank, especially as it also has 12 rounds per minute. And can deal with T-34s. It can't really deal with anything above 90mm frontal armor though. It only has 85mm here, so that it doesn't have a penetration chance. But it can do well against the Marder 3. GreenHD coming in with the Enjoy. AB-41 autocannons are nice. Good amount of sniper rifles with the Gebirgs Fusiliers and the Gebirgsschwörer. Gebirgsschwörer also coming in with some Panzerfausts as well, so they are really nice leaders. 30.3 availability. A really, really good unit. Down here, more Gebirgsjägers coming around. And yeah, Green being up 1-0 in a pretty tough group. If Green can win this, Green is a good step closer to the playoff stage, which would be nice. And yeah, let's move on to the next round. And here we go. Meanwhile, over here, Stu, Marder 2, Marder 3. Ours on Roger Eager. What do you mean? Oh, the carabines, yeah. But, I mean, they deal 1 extra MP40 damage on CQC, kinda. And, yeah, let's see if Green can make it into the playoffs. Or, well, it's the first round, but 1 step closer to the playoffs. Where then maybe Green can make it closer to Division 1. That would be interesting. If Green has it in him, move on to Division 1 for this season. But Farid Rommel, far from out. If we've been here, chances for making it into playoffs would be still well and alive. Still 2 more games to play after this one. It's still only their week 1 game, which they play in 1 day late, I guess. But no problem there. SMG's coming around. SMG's really, really nice card as well. 20-point MG34 is really nice, especially as it also comes with great availability. Yes, it's ersatz, so it's disheartened, but MG34s don't want to get fired upon anyways. And it's a decent unit for sure to hold longer ranges really cheaply. Hungarians coming in here as well. As we see, the Huzaroks already being used here in A-phase. Reiter, Jäger, MP44s for the north and the south, together with some Jäger Pioneers. Huzarok having the only issue of coming in the bottom D, but in this deck not as much of a problem as with the normal Hungarians, because the rest of your infantry will already be there to save and secure the ground, so that your bottom D only needs to come in slightly up the rhythm and unload. And the enemy is not able to rush you as hard as that might be the case when you're playing with the other Hungarians, where the bottom D is really, really annoying in Tartalek and in Lovash, and soon also in Panchelos and 25th. I forgot the name of the 25th. And I would slaughter it anyway, so let's leave that be and focus onto a game that now has started. With both sides coming in, who do you think will make it, guys? And what division would you have picked out of these two if you would have to pick one? or 5th? Are these decks good picks for this map? Let me know. Yes. Jägers with Geburgsführer coming in for the south. Püppchen will try to get into a good spot here as well. Stuck M42 trying to follow them up. On the other side, Jäger Pioneers and Reiter MP44s get in here as well. Further in the north, more and more Panzer Grenadiers and Reiter Jägers getting into position. Gebirgsstreife and to get into good places. Gebirgsfusiliers with their sniper. And rolling further forward, 9-man sniper squadrons for 30 points. Putting its S3 gun under fire already. Not getting any kills there. Bit unfortunate on that so far. As the rest of the infantry is moving forward with them. They're slowly but surely getting that unit down. And over here we have some fights as well, as that's MGs using their long range here. Brooks Aufklärers under fire. Green really loving his Kubel MGs. But they're going down this time around as well. Püppchen being in a nice spot here. Marder actually trying to hold the ground over here. I would say Marder will lose against the Stuck M42. As the Stuck M42 has the better rate of fire. Marder 3 not bad with 8 rounds per minute, but the Stuck even better with its 12 rounds per minute. And good enough penetrations to easily penetrate the Marder as well. So, yeah, we have a Marder versus Stuck fight here as well. Marder slightly better aim time, but as you can see, yeah, the second shot already goes to Stuck. And Stuck gets penetrated, loses line of sight or so it seems afterward. Or for some reason didn't shoot the next shot as quickly. And only gets 1 penetration in. Bit unlucky there, I guess, with the hits, as the Marder gets 2 penetrations in and gets the kill in the end there. It's a relatively close matchup. But I would say in general the Stuck should have the upper hand there. So I might be wrong. Yes, the Kosaken come in as frontline unit. A couple of 20mm coming in as well. ME 410, one of the best recon planes in the game with its 610 kmh. Really nice unit. That's the AB 41. He's in a bit of a pickle here. Doesn't want to fight. The T-34 doesn't want to fight the BKs here either. Gebirgsführer though, with their Panzerschreck, can be dangerous. So Farid has to be careful. Doesn't want to go down there with their T-34, as that otherwise might end deadly. Pack 40 here, trying to get a kill onto a VK. Not successful in that one though. Whilst down here, Green is coming in with another infantry push. Good amount of Gebirgsjägers, Gebirgs Pioneer, escorted by Gebirgsführer. So 2-star veterans here on all of these units. Püppchen trying to move with the push as well. Same time, Farid might be able to grab this flag back here with that Jäger movement. Whilst Püppchen is coming in for a position as well. And Püppchen, really good unit here for these kind of fights. Püppchen in these sections of the map are really annoying. One of the reasons why you don't want to play against something like Fallschirmjäger on this map either. Can be painful. Like, even though they're beatable nowadays, but the Püppchens are just still an annoying unit to deal with. As they one-shot all the tanks that they hit. They might miss sometimes with their relatively low accuracy. Obviously they have to get in range, but with their 12 damage and 200 penetration, most tanks are immediately dead if hit. The Püppchen here gets nearly killed off by the Jäger Pioneers though. Got into cover last second. The VK 1901 tries to go for the kill now. Let's see if that actually works out. Oh, Püppchen will be faster. Oh, it's aiming for the infantry, I think. Or is it aiming for the Püppchen? Püppchen now getting a shot off. Misses. And immediately falls back. That's in the north. Püppchen is moving forward as well. T-34 not killed off either. But AB 41 engaging against the Panzer Grenadiers. The Gebirgs Pioneer has to be careful. Farid Rommel with the push over here. On a 1410. Stu, really good unit up here. Really helpful. With its long range fire support against the infantry of the enemy. And so the Ersatz MG plus Stoßtruppen plus Stu 42 combo. Pretty reminiscent of what we saw in the earlier game with the ISU and the infantry push out of Farid Rommel there. And it seems to work out this time around once more. 59 for Farid Rommel at the moment. Whilst a couple of Jäger Pioneers move into the south. Hujarok in a fight with some Gebirgsjäger over here. Hujarok getting pinned down. Still trading relatively efficiently though. Whilst Jäger Pioneers versus Gebirgsjäger here will end up with a TNT flying towards the Gebirgsjäger, which still might yield the Gebirgs Pioneer over here as well. No, okay. They won't get damaged by it. On the off-map. Ooh, gets killed off. Good pick off there, as it wasn't used by Farid Normal. And that could have been annoying. That 105mm off-map. It's not the strongest of off-maps, but it's for sure an annoying one. You don't want to get hit by that. So killing it off with the Gebirgs Pioneer. Good move there by Green. A bit sloppy by Farid Normal to let it stay in that position though, when the enemy is in this forest. So bit of a slip up there by Farid Normal. Nice punish through Green. As the Gebirgs Pioneer tried to move further in here. Gebirgsjäger trying to get up there as well. And Püppchen zoning out this Panzer T-34 over here. The AB-41 doing a good hit and run here. Not getting killed off by any of the tanks from Farid Rommel or the anti-tank gun for that matter. So really good movement there from Green, keeping that alive. Gebirgs Pioneer killing off the SIS-3 gun. And it's back to an 11-13. The only really big annoyance for Green still is the center. The flanks going pretty decently. Surrounded the enemy down here. Completely enveloped by Green's units. Back to a 12-12. But this section over here, I don't think Green has an answer for it just yet. As another SIS-3 gun comes up. As more infantry comes in to the center. To the south. Where now also the Stuk comes up, and the Stuk should be able to deal with the VK9. It should have a rough time penetrating, but the Stuk has an easy time penetrating, gets the kill there. Marder over here, interesting position as well. But more and more Gebirgsjägers are rushing in over here. Oh, Jäger Pioneers on the move at command, run into Gebirgsstreifer. That doesn't end well. The MP44s doing their job there, getting the kill done. That's the VK over here. Should be careful as well. The Gebirgsführer still has a Panzerschreck. And even without that, this Stuk here might win against the VK, but the Gebirgsführer will get the kill here. Yeah, don't think that can aim in time. No, Gebirgsführer get the Panzerschreck on target, get the kill. And now it's Green up on the 13-11. Püppchen coming in over here. But they have an alignment issue. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, they need to move closer, but then they might reveal themselves. Oh no. This is rough. As if they go any further, they will be spotted. 34 doesn't see them, but the Hujaroks would. So they have to disengage there for now. What's the VK9? He's up here in the north. 13-11. Going on. Green. Pushing down here in the south. Hujarok under fire. Marder trying to deal with the Gebirgsjägers over here. That's... Green is keeping on enveloping Farid from the north. Gebirgs... Panzergrenadiers can't really take that fight. They need to disengage there. The VK has line of sight. Just let the VK do the job. Don't want to get hit by the jerrycan. Yeah, the jerrycan does hit. And now the Gebirgs Pioneers moved away. Panzergrenadiers still get pinned down. Get surrendered. Reiter Jäger MP44s with the Molotovs now trying to move in. As the Püppchen is moving around. Gets spotted by the Hujarok this time around though. So most likely will get killed off before it can connect with the T-34. 13-11 still for Green. Big fight in the south. While Panzer Grenadier moves through the open. Stu controlling the long ranges here as well. Marder and Stuk slowly disengage as well. More reinforcements here for the south. A bomber run from GreenHD. Trying to go for the Jäger MP44. As there's no AA directly here. Bit of AA over here, but that won't be enough to stop a bomber. Might be good enough to save the ME410. As the 205V might get stunned, and the BF109 might be good enough to help out here, killing the Viero. the bombs did drop. And the B109 needs to be careful. C205 though. Most likely will get pinned down. Oh, it's close. Does it get pinned down? No, but it will get killed. Green going for the head on there. Biggest mistake of Green's life. No, but the pilot's at least. Pilot explodes there in the backyard. And that means that Rommel at least has a slight advantage now in the air fight. Green needs to get a new escort if he wants to get the bomber escorted in. But the bombing run went through, did good amount of damage. One of the Reiterjäger is down. So Farid not quite capable of pushing Green completely out of the north yet at the moment. Trying to counter push here in the south. Up on the 1311 due to the flex in the town. Stu still holding the line here. But the north is still a stalemate. And another Pipchen is coming up, this time from the other side around. That's the VK. Tries to help out the Reiterjäger to push further forward. Another T-34 has arrived. And a Heigenkill 111. This time coming from the other side. I'm not 100% sure for what target. And neither seems Scream to... Okay, yeah, AB-41 going down. The Hujarok, I guess, spotted that. Or the Panzergrenadier. Stuck. Most likely took some damage there from the Heinkel 111 as well. Those were big bombs. But the Pipchen gets a nice kill as well. Pipchen getting the kill there onto the T-34. T-34 going down. The Bux Fusilier in the fight with Panzergrenadiers. I think the Panzergrenadiers should win that, so the Bux Fusiliers have to be careful. They only have one sniper rifle firing versus two MG42s there. That's the Reiterjägers are on top of the Gebirgsjägers over here. They will win that fight as well. The Gebirgsjägers already heavily damaged. Molotov coming in to finish the job. So flags will connect once more up here in the north, and that will once more bring Farid Rommel up to a 13-11. Slowly taking Green here. As we are in B phase now, and both sides have a lot of income now. At the same time, oh, BF-109 not getting the bomber. That was a really close round there with the BF-109 G6R6 and 320mm. That's for sure a lot of damage output, so if they ever get behind something, they do a lot of damage quickly, but they just got there a half a second too late. So Green's bomber gets out. 13-11 for Farid is not significant, but obviously for sure a slight advantage still. Whilst in here in the town, Farid has given up on pushing deeper, but at least controls 2 extra flags here. And the Stu still controls the open ground, and Green can do little about that. Without air support, Green can do little about that. Doesn't have the tools to deal a lot of damage over 2000 meter range. Has to be careful to not lose this position. Like, that flag, holding on to that is nice. Maybe can counterattack later into this town. Maybe with some smoke artillery or so, but should really focus on winning the flanks. Southern flank still going pretty well for Green. Counterattack of Farid Rommel here currently gets stuck, and the armored support of Green is good enough to get the kills there. Hujarok getting sniped by the Stuk M42 with its AP shell. Marder here, not a good CQC fighter either, so yeah. Farid Rommel once more losing one of the flanks in this game as well. I hope he doesn't overinvest like he did last game, I think, into the losing side, but rather trying to focus to win where he can win, the center and the north. T-34 here, moving around, not getting close to anything. Pipchen is still around here. 13-11 is up. A Tiger has arrived for the center. So, seems like Farid Rommel wants to push over here. That might be interesting. 3 flags to be captured here, but it's not an easy sector to push into, because it's against the high ground, and everyone who watched Star Wars knows high grounds are important. If you can reinforce this from the road back here, you can get a lot of stuff in there before the enemy can really charge into it. And you have more knowledge about your opponent than they do have about you, because they can't see this. As you can see onto that plateau here. Heinkel 111's trying to come around for the south. You have 109 G6R6 flying around in the north as another Sparviero. Got a nice bombing run onto some Reiterjägers that desperately try to disengage. Hujarok's under fire as well. And now get under fire by two IG-18s as well. And those can be annoying, especially as the Pipchin can move forward anytime, so tanks can't really help. Kujark, yeah, should hold the ground behind the building. Good thinking there from Farid Rommel. As more infantry here is coming in though. Green once more wants to cut the north up completely. So Kujark, Golyorsk are kind of needed. Stuk 3G, biggest boy in the north now. That's the IG-18 over here. Gets eliminated by the 20mm. And the second 20mm is under fire by some Panzer Grenadiers as well. Not what the IG-18s want to have happen there. So they're getting pushed back. Tiger on its own here. Moving forward. Lucky that there's no anti-tank on this hill. And this Pak 40 is not watching at the moment because it's showing side armor. Really, like, yeah. Paranormal now realizing, oh damn. But there was nothing there to shoot it, so got lucky. More T-34s coming in down in the south. And a lot of tanks here. Not quite as much infantry. But a bombing run and a bit of more infantry could maybe let something happen here. I would say trying to go for these flags is more healthy than trying to go for these flags. And it's fighting in this town. Or in this forest with all the 20mm, all the relatively solid CQC infantry is not as easy. Meanwhile, Sparviero coming in for a bombing run in the north. Thanks for the raid, El Bowser, and we are in the game that I snatched from you. GreenHD versus Farid Rommel, game number 2. Fifth Gebirgsjäger versus Gruppe Harteneck. And Farid Rommel has a slight advantage thanks to a great push in the open over here. But the pressure that GreenHD is inflicting on the side is not small either. C205 now trying to get behind the BF-109, but BF-109 gets the kill before the C205 can do anything about it, and it is slightly more maneuverable than the Italian fighter here as well, so will get out, and the C205 cannot follow AA. Got killed off here in the north for GreenHD as well, so no way of putting any pressure that way onto the fighter. And that is quite annoying, as these bombers were really doing a good job for Green. At the same time though, getting a couple of kills onto some tanks in the south. And yeah, I feel like Farid really should focus on keeping this under lock and then attacking over here. Another Sparviero coming in, but once more, not supported by great AA. Only 120mm that is really far in the rear, helping out here. And that will take a good while to pin down this BF-109. Whilst that BF-109 is really shooting for the Sparviero. I don't know why it's called back. Might have been running out of fuel just at that moment. Because I don't see another reason why you not go for the head-on with the Sparviero. Even in its falling back move, it still shot a couple of shots. Could have shot a couple more if you would have attack ordered it there. But we have more and more Stuks coming in onto the battlefield. Green is using his one card of Stuk 3s now completely all around the map. Get at least a parity when it comes to armor. And the Stuks now try to inflict some pressure onto this town. Obviously, once a Tiger would be there around there, that would swing into favor of Farid Rommel again, who is currently on 1311. And Black 38s shooting onto the ME410 in the south. Expernia sitting in the forest. 1311 is on. Whilst it's set 205 is hunting the Heinkel 111 once more. We saw that killing off a good amount of units earlier, and it will get its run through once more. 20mm of the set 205 not good enough to kill it, and the fighter for GreenHD will go down. Bombs kill the Pipchin and the IG. A lot of casualties here now for Green, and this game looks to go way better here in the mid to late game for Farid Rommel than the first one. Green not quite having the death ball that was around in the first game, and the northern flank seems to slowly swing into Farid Rommel's favor again, especially thanks to the air support, thanks to the victories there against the enemy bombers. Barrieros keep on their bombing runs here, but the AA gets fiercer and fiercer on the side of Farid Rommel. It's keeping them out for longer, and especially the BF-109 G6R6 here playing a big role, as there's just too little AA on the side of GreenHD's on GreenHD's side of the map. BF-109 here targeting onto the wrong bomber. Should have gone for this one. Could have secured the kill there. This way around, it might not kill either, as it needs a long while to turn around, and that might be just enough time for the Sparviero to get off. So yeah, Rommel decides to get it out as well. More 20mm finally coming in to try to secure the way home for these Sparvieros. But Green actually going onto the offensive. Down here in the south again, Martyr in trouble, needs to break line of sight with the Stuk, but the Stuk, oh, just not ever so slightly not getting another shot off. And the Tiger E saves the day, kills the Stuk. M42, and second Tiger on the battlefield. Though this is not Tiger country. And this is not where tigers want to live. They live in forests in India, but they don't like Russian forests. That's really not their favorite region. They are more of a plain animal when it comes to Russian steppes. Pack 40 here. Trying to hold the ground. 103. Killing off another Stuk, M42 down here. So Green's attack not really working out. Still at 13-11 for Farid Rommel here. The 21-minute mark. Having a good amount of ticks now on GreenHD. So Green will have to break Farid Rommel eventually. The question is, will that happen? Or can Farid Rommel now keep on the pressure? As we are in C-phase and both sides are starting to run low on points. As they only get 80 points of income now each minute. 81mm mortar firing for the Stuk 3G here. Most likely will be able to secure that kill because that Stuk 3G already looks quite damaged. And that radio mortar is relatively accurate. Yes, there we go. Stuk 3G goes down. Nice kill on one of the really valuable Stuks of Green as he only gets one card. As another Tiger is rolling up here for Farid Rommel for this part of the map. BF-109 does some strafing against the Pack 40. Pack 40s did a good job on annoying the Tiger here, but one of them has fallen, and the other one now got pinned down. Ooh, 20mm might be doing the job here onto the BF-109. Yes, one fighter down. The 20mm finally got a kill here for GreenHD. But the Sparviero once more is coming in for GreenHD. 2 500kg bombs. More AA might be needed here for Farid Rommel. But Tiger E is getting a kill on another Stuk though. The Stuk number really dwindling here on the side of GreenHD. Usually we're talking about tigers as the endangered species. This time it might be the Stuks. As more BF-109, G6R6 are sweeping in, but a bit too late. Farid Rommel a bit off on the call-in timer there. So Sparviero is nearly home already. So the BF-109s have to go home. Though, at the same time, good usage of the mortar, killing off another 20mm autocannon up, AA up here. So, GreenHD losing a bit more AA once more here. Keeps up the pressure in the north, but hasn't captured the flag around here. So, it's still the 13-11 tick that we are so used to by now for Farid Rommel that is slowly but surely draining GreenHD of points. And requiring a bigger and bigger comeback. But more Sparvieros are coming in, but on the other side, big bombs dropping as well. So I'm not quite sure what they are going for this time. It seems to be this forest. No, it is the Stuk. And they do good damage to that Stuk. Next Stuk is down. That means we only have one Stuk on the battlefield, I think. Only one more Stuk remaining. And that is a pretty grim prospect on this map. As the center kinda needs armor if you want to retake it. Sparvieros coming in with decent bombing runs as well, but this time around the BF-109, thanks to the kill onto the 20mm up here, can come behind one of them, get the kill, and might even get the second one. Oh no, it can get fire onto the second one, and this might be the end already. Oh, the Sparviero just ever so slightly getting out another time here. Just getting the overdrive out last second there. So will make it out alive. But Farid Rommel is still up on the 13-11 though. And I just don't quite see how Green is supposed to push him out of this. Doesn't have any artillery. Doesn't have the air. Doesn't have armor. And doesn't have the positioning really to go for any easy pushes here either. AB-41s, you only get one card. So the position in which Farid has entrenched himself by now. Should be relatively easy to hold, and then slowly advance with artillery, with bombers, and with your tanks, and even take more of the map here, as a 1410 has occurred now, due to the capture of the flag over here. So, Farid Rommel might equalize the series here to a tie in the end, as GreenHD is in a lot of trouble here now. Like, I tried to find a way, and if you have a way, let me know in the chat, but I just don't quite see the way of how to bring this back with 50 Bergsteiger right now. Like, your infantry is not outclassing the enemy, your artillery is not outclassing the enemy, your air didn't win either, and the enemy now has better AA than you on parts of the map, and better fighters for sure. And you don't have much left to deal with tigers. Like, there's most likely also no more Pak 40 cards in this deck, as you have a really limited AT tab as well. Like, the AT and the AA tab, big limiters of that deck especially. Well, Sparvieros try to do their best here with the 500 kilogram bombs, but this might just go down to AA here actually. There might not even be a BF-109 needed, as the flak feeling here is dealing good amount of damage. Sparviero getting heavily hit here. Okay, will make it out alive, will take a long while to repair though, and the 1410 here is problematic. VK9 gets killed off by the Pak 40 at least. Meanwhile in the south, still a pretty nice defensive position. 81mm mortar, smoking off some positions here around the map. Whilst the 81mm mortar in the north is trying to hit the Stuk. Stuk is forced to fall back. Right there you get MP44s coming around the flank here. Might be able to go for the flag right there. But the Bergsteiger are trying to hold the ground. Morgan Bergsteiger rolling in. The battery Führer are in a fight here. Right there you get MP44. Pushing deeper and deeper here. And with the tank support, with the air support, with the mortar support as well, it will be tough to push them out of here. Sparviero coming in here once more. Once more getting lit up. Maybe one more AA would be nice, but the BF-109s could do the job as well. As two of them are approaching the Sparviero. AA is trying desperately to push them back, but it's only 20mm with 1-star veteran C. They're nice and all, but they're not doing a lot of damage. One of the BF-109s is pinned down after just a couple of shots onto the Sparviero. The second one is closing in, but the Sparviero makes it out again. BF-109's having the issue, the G6R6, of being relatively slow. That's the one thing that Green can use here. But Ankle 111 in the north gets a nice kill as well. Allows the Reiter Jägers to keep up their front line. And with this, most likely is connecting in a second. Or not. Oh. Or not. Actually not connecting, otherwise that front line would have pushed even deeper and would have given Farid Rommel another flag here. Meanwhile, another BF-109 stays around in the south for too long. Big mistake by Farid Rommel, actually losing another bomber, which was kind of unnecessary. But Heinkel 111 have found the last surviving Stuk, and that might not be the case for much longer. As, yeah, the two 1,000 kilogram bombs hit close enough that the Stuk is evaporated, and with that, the end of the Stuks for Green has come. 20 Pak 40s also on the heavy fire. That might be the last Pak 40 in Green's deck as well, and that is really problematic. As then you're down to 750 meter range with AT, which is never a great sign for you, as the 1311 here continues. 7 minutes only on the clock for GreenHD here on the 1 speed tick, but Farid Rommel keeps up the pressure. 81mm mortar trying to go for the hill, can do a good amount of damage here as well. And this might be the beginning of the end here now. MG42 under pressure. North Grenadier DPs and Hujar Golyorsk on the way to grab a couple more flags as well. But the ME410 is moving in the north, getting fired upon by the Flak 38. But that shouldn't be able to get any kills here. 410 should be able to get out. That's the Sparvievo once more on the way to deal with some infantry. No way directly up, so the Sparvievo should most likely make it through. But 1410 still here for Farid. 20 minutes remaining. I feel like Farid just has the way better late game combined arms. As everything down here gets vaporized as well. Another bombing run, the Piption is down. One Pak 40 is with 1 hit point is still alive down here. Not quite getting any kills though. And artillery is aiming for it as well. Trying to get it killed. That's the Tiger is aiming towards it as well, so green can't even just move it over. Because then it might get killed by the Tiger. 170mm off map is another attempt here to stem the tide. And that can be helpful. But there is nothing to follow it up with. There's not enough infantry to get these flags. And even if these 2 flags would fall, it's still a 12-12. As Farid now goes for a big assault onto this part of the map, trying to achieve the 59. Whilst the mortars try to go for the Pak 40. The off map coming in the north. Right there you go, MP44. Grand DDP engaging over here. And GreenHD surrenders here in the end. And Farid is successful in game number 2. 2 really good games. 2 really nice infantry fights. And yeah, green this time not getting the combined arms online. And winning the air fight, which was really crucial there. Losing the air fight, which was really crucial for the victory of Farid. As the long range engagements in the center also were dictated by the STU 42. The LG42 couldn't do much about it. The flank victories of green were not decisive enough to turn around. Looked a couple of times pretty promising, but never quite able to capitalize fully on it. So GGVP in the end here to Farid for equalizing it in this round. That were some really nice games from both players. And yeah, that means that UU now has the advantage in that group, as everyone else has a draw. That was quick. And it also means Fantasy League gets changed a bit. As GreenHD now has a web win. And Farid has it as well. It will give a couple of people more points as well. Currently in the lead, by the way, in the Fantasy League is Mr. Vulcan HD Gaming. But this Vulcan, everyone who has Hairs already has a lot of points because Hairs already played all his games. And is worth a lot of points, like 100